Soulmask is about building, crafting, surviving, obviously, but what about tips that can help your gameplay run smoother, especially at the start? I'm not talking about maximizing your clan members' level or building an impenetrable fortress, but more things we tend to forget. Things that make your gameplay less stressful and more proactive. A few of these tips can be personal preference, so stay tuned in for those. Let's get started. Getting them out early is important as it reduces the time to get from point A to point B. Also, your mounts can carry more items for you. Be mindful not to overload your mount too much if you plan on riding on your alpaca as well. If you plan on walking with them, you can whistle for them to follow you or deploy them from their menu. Lastly, make sure they have water and food in their inventory. Alpacas can typically be found in ancient ruins marked on the map. Carry two weapons with you at all times, especially if you're exploring the map. Not just any weapons, but one that suit your character's playstyle. Make sure to look at your tribesmen's traits to fit their weapon needs. Durability plays a role in this because weapons and tools eventually break and need to be repaired at some point. Like weapons, carrying multiple tools are essential when mining resources. For example, make sure to bring 2 to 3 pickaxes when mining copper or tin. Don't forget your alpaca too, as they're going to be the ones carrying most of the items. Use different characters, not just your main, for fighting and crafting. This one took me some time to realize that using different characters when exploring, collecting resources, crafting are important because your tribesmen have a higher level cap than your starter character. While we have the ability to show pictures on the chests, for items we want specifically, renaming your chest can also be helpful as well. When placing new farmland on the ground, you'll notice that the grass sits higher above your farmland. If you don't like planting your farmland on the ground directly, you can build foundations to place them on top. A 3x3 foundation suits one farmland nicely. If you plan on building foundations for your farmlands that sit above the ground, I recommend building stairs on either end of the foundation so you don't have to jump every single time. Finding cotton is easy. You're going to need cotton for a lot of things, and one example is a mount for your alpaca. You want to head towards the barbarian barrack, which is close to the areas where you start in the game. Their farmlands are in front of the entrance on either side of the gate, so make sure to check both sides. In this scenario, I found corn, tomatoes, pumpkin, and cotton. Sometimes I keep my newly crafted items in the building workshops. There are two options you can choose from, and that is to move items automatically to designated chests, or you can have your tribesmen craft the new item and leave them inside the table. Keeping your items after death. I've died a handful of times in the beginning of the game, and having to walk all the way back to your items with no mount can be brutal. If you want to keep your items after death, follow these steps. Before entering your game, go to Advanced Settings. On the far right, you want to look for the Post Respawn Death Pack On Off. Make sure to click the diamond to show its green and confirm settings. Besides going into advanced settings and increasing the multiplier XP, one way to level up fast is by mining copper or tin. If you're enjoying this type of content, make sure to like and subscribe. You can auto walk and heal at the same time. For the keyboard, it's the equal sign. You can also look at the map while your character is still moving. I'm not sure what the auto walk is for the controller, but that should be available in the control settings. You can search for an item anywhere. Starting with your own inventory, I go to the search bar and type rainwater, and I can see to craft this item I need to use the potting table. Another example is if I'm in the building workshop finishing up items there, I'll go into the search bar, type in rainwater, and other crafting table blueprints will start blinking and show me where I can craft this item. I made the mistake of not leaving enough room for certain crafting tables. For example, the weapon crafting bench has a mod you can use to upgrade your weapons bench. Add the mod to the upgraded part on the top right hand corner of your screen. You can add the part directly from your inventory or place the mod from your hotbar. We all start with thatch houses, and now since we have progressed further into the game, we are ready to upgrade to wooden houses. The first option is to walk up to the wall or roof you want to upgrade, and by pressing and holding the interaction button, there's an option to upgrade. As long as you have the item to upgrade, this will work. In my case, it shows I have 16 wooden walls ready to be used. A quick and easy way is to have your wooden walls highlighted, hover over the thatch wall, and place the wooden wall right over. You can deploy your tribesmen from the menu, press on the keyboard to bring up your clan. On the far right of each character's name, there's a picture that shows two swords crossing. Click on that to deploy one of your members. Don't forget you still have to be within a certain distance for your member to follow you. This will not work if you're on the other side of the map, for example. Build plenty of tools for your tribesmen. When assigning work such as collecting resources, we want to make sure we have the right tools. You can build the tools, place them in the chest, and your tribesmen will automatically grab the tools needed for wild collection such as logging. We want to automate as much work as possible with our tribe, and farm work is one of them. In the knowledge and technology tree under advancement of bronze, select premium planting. We want to learn the new blueprint called granary. Select a farm by assigning them the job called farm management just under work type and click on granary. Keep in mind these granaries have a reach limit of 60 meters. In the clan menu, if you highlight what your tribesmen are currently doing, it will show all of their proficiencies. Some are highlighted in white, orange, and red. White is capped per each proficiency. So for example, logging, my max for Jill is 84. Orange means you can surpass 100. Red shows I can exceed 120, so for example, Jill's bow proficiency. Your tribesmen are comfortable with their living style and relieving themselves in the forest isn't going to cut it. This is where an outhouse comes into play. You can craft an outhouse in the building workshop. If you don't have it yet, in the technology tab, just under Dawn of the New Tribe, go to medium building and look for furniture. The minute you place the outhouse down, a tribesman will head towards it. After they are finished, search the outhouse for feces that can later be used for fertilizer. Outhouses also give a comfort level of 200. One thing I forgot when playing Soulmask is leveling up my clan members. As your members level up from doing various chores, there will be points to allocate to. Remember to always level up what is needed for each tribesman. Be sure to look at their innate talents for further research to help you decide. In the Knowledge and Tech tab, when you're searching for an item, it will highlight that specific tab in a light gray-blue color. This helps pinpoint the item or items you are looking for. Building and using a construction hammer is much faster when you want to repair, relocate, retrieve, and dismantle buildings. The other option to retrieve an item is by walking up to it and waiting for the retrieve button to fill up before moving the item to your inventory. First, craft a monkey storage nest. This is where monkeys will put their items they collect. Build a couple of small traps, set out into the wild and look for monkeys. You can typically find them just about anywhere in the rainforest. I found my first one in the corner of the map. Set the trap anywhere you'd like and place one nut inside. Berries will not work for this. The monkey will slowly creep up to the food and the trap will trigger. Once captured, you can place the monkey on your shoulder. Be careful placing traps anywhere without finding the monkeys first, as scarlet macaws will take over the trap. Traps can only be used once. If you're having trouble finding monkeys, just check out your map and look for forest areas that have massive trees. Be sure to use the mask to scan the area as well. Sometimes monkeys do come in groups, so it's best to build a few traps. Always take a tribesman with you when going to mining areas, exploring the map, and overcoming camps. Sometimes the fighting experience can get hectic, and having that extra companion with you can help, especially when you become incapacitated. If you plan on venturing out far from your base, make sure to have a campfire with you. This will act as a spawn point in case you die. This is especially helpful if you know you are planning on taking out a camp. Make sure to have resources to keep the fire burning to spawn back if needed. And that's going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments of things you found helpful. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.